Now I can bring the bishop here if he doesn't take back immediately. Okay. I can't take. But I do have this move, check. He'll block with the bishop probably. Or the knight, I suppose. Blocks with a knight. Cool. Now I can bring my dark square bishop into the game. Goes to threaten that piece. That's okay, I'll bring it here. I threaten to take his bishop, so he'll have to take, and then I can win the knight back. Okay, now he's threatening that, which is fine. I can just... Do I want to bring my bishop here? Keep it on the diagonal, or do I want to stop his pawn from advancing and also provide support to my center pawn? Probably want to do that. It's probably wiser. I can bring my bishop out here and threaten. Whoops. Threaten to take the queen. Queen cannot capture because of the knight. Let's see if he plays h6, stopping this threat. After this, he might play queen to c7. And what's my follow-up? Follow-up might just be castles. Castles, or perhaps even c4, or maybe b2 followed by c4 in the hopes of gaining some sort of pawn chain. And then castles. And that's how he stops the threat. Okay, so he's getting his own sort of pawn chain. Preventing my bishop from getting into the game. Alright, I'm going to start my own sort of progression. Now this weakens the square. Now this piece, I can't play bishop here, because that would undefend. I play this, I move the bishop here. We can play takes. Let's see. This is here. Let's see what this does. This is here. Play knight takes, pawn takes. My bishop would be here, so I'd be able to play bishop takes pawn. Then we have knight takes bishop, and I don't have the threat of queen because my my bishop is blocking that right now. Okay. Block with the bishop, or do I block with the knight? The knight's not really doing anything on that square, so I'll bring in the knight to block. And now this is also defending this pawn, so let's castle to get rid of the pin. Now that pin is really doing nothing. Let's start a pawn break. Hopefully I can start to gain some play on this side. If I drop the rook. Let's check. It doesn't win a pawn though, because the knight there. I can play this move. Now he's sort of boxed in here. And I can threaten his king a bit. I can threaten to take the rook if I play. If on my next move I just play queen there. Not exactly a fan of this game that I've been playing. Okay. Well, then I'll tell you what. Let's go here. Alright, because now I can take the bishop check. He's probably going to play... Probably going to play this move. I don't know. I don't have anything to support it. Oh, I have knight here. Threaten the queen. I can get rid of his light squared bishop. Do I take the bishop immediately? No, because he's threatening to take. Well, hang on. If he takes my knight, I can take back with the bishop, threaten the queen. Queen takes, and I don't have any sort of counterplay. Oh, wait, if I take... Oh, wait, I can take here. That's check. He'll have to move. Let's see, if I take, that's check. Let's say maybe king here. Then I have this move, which threatens his queen. So the queen will have to retreat somewhere. Okay. So he can block with the rook. If he blocks with the rook, then yeah, I'll just... If he blocks with the rook, I just play this move. He doesn't. He plays that move. Is there a... This isn't... Let's play this move. He has this, which I suspect he'll do. If he does that, then I can get in here and take control of this square and this square and sort of cut off queen. I also can prepare to bring my rook here. But no, the queen back here, that's too dangerous. Okay, so he's offering up a trade of queens. Does he not notice that this is check? And now I have his queen for free. Okay. That was anticlimactic. Okay, so now he's... Is there another way I can check him without losing my queen? Do I have some sort of tactics? Where's the block? I didn't see the block. Takes. Takes. King takes. I don't have my dark square. I have takes. King takes. Let's see. Takes. 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 Check. King back to c8. And then maybe knight d6, checking the king and winning the rook. Let's see if that line works. Oh, he immediately played that. Okay. In that case, well, that leaves this pawn hanging. So I'll take the pawn, which then allows me to bring my dark square bishop and deliver check once I move my knight out of the way. Say to this square here, capturing, delivering check, and picking up the rook. Unless if he plays something like this, I'll just pick up the pawn. All right. He has upped the exchange, but only by a pawn. I think we're in a pretty even position. Okay, he does play that, in which case I'll take. He doesn't have a mate threat because I can just take back. Okay. I will prevent you from taking, because now you'll be in check. And I'll pick up. And that, is there a... There we go. Pick up your pieces. I had this bishop move. I don't think he saw that. I think he thought it was mate. Now if he wants to... It's not going to come back. So... I don't have this move. Is this... Do I check with the rook, or do I check with a knight? Let's check with a knight. And then maybe if he moves here. Well, let's go here and pick up. Nope, shoot, that was dumb. Now I can take the rook. I didn't notice. Now I'll pick up his rook if he... Now it'll be a completely even position. I was up, and I just completely lost it. Blundered. And blundered. He sees that he can take the rook. I mean, I'll take his rook, but we'll be in a completely even position. And And then he will be able to take the knight. Yeah. I can advance. I'll start pushing my other pawns, though. Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna promote this pawn, but now there's no stopping this pawn. This pawn will promote, and it'll have to. And I can start pushing this pawn and win the bishop. Why does he go there? See, if I take here, he has this square he can go to, so it's not stalemate. Right? That's a safe square. You can also move back one. And now, checkmate. 7 blunders, 5 mistakes, 0 missed wins. Unfortunately, I've already played against a computer today, so I won't be able to do I will be able to look at this side, the side of the screen though, and determine if my moves were good or not. That, it says, was a bad move. What was the better move? Was it this move? No, so that's an even worse move. Is it takes? No. That move, it says, gives me the slight edge. That gives it back. That gives it back. Oh, I have this move. Retreating move evens up the position, but it's fine. And if he takes, I have takes. And then he better be careful. So he moves something like this. I have this check. Here's this move. And I can just give him. And I can probably just take the knight. I trade a knight for bishop. That's not a terrible trade. And if I took this with check, he can take back. And white, which is my pieces, at least in this thing, I'm up a pawn. So if he tries this, I have this. He cannot take the pawn back because of queen. Well, actually, you know what? He can take the pawn back because I can't take the queen. So then I would check, win the queen. Then, let's say he played some sort of developing move, random move. This is not a move you would ever play in tournament play, but then I can win that piece. he moved. I could probably just check. I would get him out of check. Let's do actually this, get out of danger. Can't threaten. It's just an empty threat, it's free piece. I'm not thinking of any sort of like difficult lines for this. I'm recording this late at night, so my capacity to think properly is a little diminished. But if we go back to the start, you can see that he has the advantage for a lot of this, slight advantage. Then he takes, I take back, and now I'm in a difficult spot. That completely changes the game. I wonder why. Is it, do I have this? Do I have this? I wonder. No. I have this, though. I have this. Which I do play. Okay. Then there's this. This. Let's check. Bring that back. Let's go closer. Castle. Puts the queen out. And this takes the rook. And that it says is it gives a great advantage to black. Oh, that's right. I'm black. Right, because it says Maverick was white, so I was black during that. No, wait, I'm white. I'm white, so black has this advantage. It says 36. Why? Why do I have plus 0.36? Is this? Move that evens the position. It's not this move, is it? No, it's definitely not that move. I mean, not this move. How do I play? I played this. Threatening to take the castles to protect. Put it back. It's this. And they have check. It's back. Put my knight in. Threatens the queen. I give check. Now we're in an even position. So now we trade. And now I'm up the exchange. No. White's Maverick is up. Give a check. He's still winning. And that gives me a huge advantage. Why? Why? This. And I take, he tries to take hanging pieces sort of in the end game. Okay, that one was not the move to make, it says, according to the engine. Why? Does it think this move is stronger? No. Does it prefer check? Yes, it does. And then after what? What's the next move? Oh, after that and that. Oh, then it has this. So after this move, what does it want me to play? You want me to start pushing a pawn? Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose that would be it. Anyway. So he takes, retreat. And that gives me a huge advantage, because then he just blunders the rook, he loses the rook. He moves his king, check. And that was a huge, yeah, that was my huge mistake. I should have played something like this. And then after this defending, something like this, because now he has to move. And then I win the rook. So that would have been the better move to play. Let's see, what did I play there? I played this. So in this position, he moved here. So he moved here, and I played here. So I should have played here. He'd probably want to go here. It's the only sort of logical move. And then I have this fork. He may also want to defend the king. But if he does, I also have this move. And then I can just start sort of pushing the pawn. If he comes and tries to stop it, he can't because of the rook guarding this whole file, basically. At that point, I could even start trying to bring my light squared bishop into the game with moves like this, the king and check, something like this. Tries to push pawns, check. At this point, he's not going to want to block with the rook, so he does something like this. And then I can just try and start bringing the rook out, but by this point, it's pretty much too late. If he tries to take the pawn, I pick up the rook. And on his next move, he can probably retreat, and I have check, and then this move followed by this move, followed by knight f5, followed by h4, and these pawns are just going to be marching down. This will probably move, and then promote, and we'll have our queens. So let's see what happened in the game. Oops, let's move all the way back. This, and this. And then at this point, promoting. See if he kept moving forward. Took, he took. And when you have a bishop and a pawn pair, you are guaranteed a queen. I don't know why he tried to stop, why he did this, because he knew this bishop was on the diagonal, so he could have just, let's say, couldn't have taken, but he could have played this move. If I went this move, there's this. I mean, there really is no stopping this pawn, so queen, pawn, check, check, and then this move. I'm not going to move my queen from this file because I want to prevent him from giving me a check, even though it would do nothing. So we're bringing this around. Threat is coming. Check. Wins a piece. It's mate in 5, so Mate e4. Check. Mate e2. No, it's 50-50. That would be a draw. Mate e4. Check. Mate e1. What's the mate? E6. Find the mate. Here it's mate e1. That's a draw. Oh, it's that. That's checkmate. Right. No. All right. It was with the bishop. It wasn't with the queen. Okay, cool. So I learned something about how the game progress. Game went queen takes bishop, this, and then two queens on the side file. Cool. So I won a game. Yay. See you guys in the next game. We're going to play a new game now. Again, I just have stopped the clip at the end of the last game. 4e5. Let's do knight c3, bishop e4. Yeah, bishop f4, and d3. D3, bishop c5, maybe, or d3, d3, knight f3, bishop c5, attacking the queen. I'm seeing black probably wants to play for this square. Okay, now he's defending. Let's just play our usual sort of opening stuff. Actually, so now I'm stopping knight to, because then I have my knight, which can just take. But I might want to just put another attacker on this square here. So that way, if he tries to push, this will be here. This bishop will be here, which means it can attack this square. If we want to include this queen, we can. I may also want to play knight to d5 in the future. It's currently only guarded by his knight, and I have my bishop there. Okay, that's a mistake, because that's a hanging piece. It's not a hanging piece because I have the rook defending it, but I don't know what the purpose of that move is. I see that the knight is defending it, and that's defending it, but what is it doing? How is it sort of improving his position? Yeah, I think bishop here, castles, and after castles, pawn break, because after takes, and takes, my queen will have control of the center. There'll be a battery with the bishop. There'll be a queen bishop battery on this diagonal, and technically speaking, and we'll have the queen on this diagonal and the bishop on this diagonal as well. So let's prepare for this attack, and then I can defend the bishop with the knight here, or I could push. What do I want to do? If I put the thing here, if he goes knight, then I can just take. All right, let's see. If I go here on the next move, I'll castle first. Link the rook up. Have the rooks and the queen here. He's threatening to take, but I can just take back. I don't see the threat. What to do? If I push, you have takes. Then can't take back with the knight now because I'll lose the queen. So I could also just play this. If this, I could push this. He'll have to fall back here. And then okay, so now he's preventing me from doing this, which is what I wanted to do. So we can push, I think. Right, so by virtue of him moving here, I can no longer play this move because it's defended once and twice. Technically, if I moved here, I also had it defended twice. Technically, maybe even a third time with the. Okay, so he doesn't take. Why doesn't he take? Let's see what happens if I take. If I take, he takes back. That leaves the queen open for an attack. It leaves the queens open. So let's see. If I take and he takes, I take here, threatening the bishop. He goes queen takes. I can play knight takes. Then he might play takes knight. And I can play this. And he have the rook on the open file. What other things can I do? So let's see again. Takes. If I go and attack, then take the queen, then he'll play rook recaptures. Um, Wait a sec. If I have take, if he decides to take, I can play check. And if he responds with knight back, to here, if he does knight back there, the bishop. I have the bishop. The bishop would be here. I could play queen takes, and after queen take. What if I doubled up the rooks first? Let's see if I can double the rooks first. That would be even more poisonous. Might be waiting too long though to execute this plan. Well, if he takes, then I know what I'm doing. Okay, he gets out of check. Let's line up the rook. Let's line this up anyway, so that way I do sort of have a plan for takes. Let's see. Actually, he's castled now, so this might not work. If I take, and he recaptures, I take the queen. He takes back. I take back. He takes back. I also have this move after takes, knight here threatening the bishop. After the bishop moves here. I have this idea of check. You'd have to play. So let's see. Knight takes, threatening the bishop. Bishop has to move. It has to move here, actually. It has to move here. So I can't play what I wanted to play. I wanted to play knight takes, bishop moves somewhere, then takes with check. So after rook takes, my knight can come in. But if the bishop is here, which is the only safe square, and my knight is here, I can't play this check, because then after bishop takes, I win the bishop. And let's see, I'd get one pawn. So the move was this. Let's see what happens if I take here. If I take here, he recaptures. That might actually be better for me. I can recapture and then move here, threaten the thing. If he comes in and takes my queen, I'll pretend that arrow goes all the way. I can recapture with either the bishop or the knight or the rook. Okay. So let's actually do that. If he decides to recapture, should I take the queen first? he decides to recapture. I don't have to take the queen immediately. I mean, if he decides he wants to take the queen, then yeah, he can do that. So now he's recapturing, opening a discovered attack on the queen. Should I continue with this threat? Because at this point, we're even in material. He might actually just move his thing back. I don't think he wants to sort of be in this whole area. That was why I was considering this move earlier, just to get him back out, and then I could have done this sort of attack that I had discussed with the knight. Actually, I don't know if I want to recapture with the bishop. I don't know if I want to block in the bishop. I'm also hanging the bishop, I just noticed. So he could come in and he could take the bishop, but if he takes the bishop, and the rook rather, then I have this move. Rather, if he takes the rook, I have this move, which wins his rook. I also have check, which wins his rook. Why on earth would he do that? This right now is an undefended piece. So I'll put it under some defense after takes and takes. I can make the knight move here. He takes, I recapture. If he doesn't go for this queen, he doesn't do, if he, like example, if he goes, he doesn't have to recapture. But then I'll just take, if he, okay, no. No, now is the move. Now I can fork his queen and his knight, actually. That'll be better. If he wants to exchange queens, I'm more than willing to. But I will take his knight. And I will lift my rook out of hanging. I do think he's going to want to move his queen. I think he'll finally accept the trade. But then my rook will no longer be under attack. So taking with the knight was actually a really dumb move. I just have, I guess, been able to kind of weasel out of it. Oh, he takes. I did not notice that. Anybody, do you notice that I have this? Now I'm going to start throwing lots of attacks at him. You notice I can pick off this pawn if I play queen here. Again, I probably should have played this first, kicked the bishop away, and then played for the fork. Okay. Can't play this move. So he's moved back. Now I can't play my... I think now is the time to get out of the pin. So let's do just that. I will move away from the pin, move away from being under attack, and then on the next move, whenever he makes, because I don't see a threat of check right now, I will take here with an attack on the queen, and then I can also we can trade dark square bishops. So right now we're even, so I know you should really only exchange when you're up, but I think I can win in this position. I also notice that I have this move, followed by this move, pinning the queen, or forking the queen and the rook. What is that? Okay, now he's attacking my knight. I wonder how he responds to this. Will he fall for it? He decides to run away with his queen. I can take his knight, he can take my knight, and I can take here with check. With double check, actually. No, because my pawn. I suppose I also could have just pushed forward. With this, no, I couldn't have pushed forward because then there's this. What? Okay, he's got check. What moves do I have? I have this move. I have a bishop. It's just this. Ooh, now I like this move. Okay, takes there. I could go here. I used to. Where was this? I could have gone here and then here. No, wait. I thought I had a double. Right, I thought I had here to here, getting both the rook and the king. I don't have that anymore because he went to here. So, what's the next move? Is the next move to... If I play here, he has to take. And then I could win. Yeah, let's play this. Because now he's got to take. So if he doesn't take, then I'll run his rook. So after takes, I can take. And then after maybe takes, after takes. Almost dangerously pre-moved. He has to take. And he can't. No, wait, he can't. This is a free piece too. Because if he takes here, he can't take there because it's pinned. So, do I take with a knight or do I take with a queen? If I take with a knight, let's see, if I take with a queen, I can also pick up the bishop, but he'll move the bishop, without a doubt. He'll move the bishop. If I take with a knight, if I take with the bishop, if I take with the queen, I'm supporting the queen. Knight also has this move. No, but then the knight can. Knight also has this move, threatening both this piece and this piece. Okay. Goes for an attack on that piece. I think he found the best move. He goes for the attack of my queen, actually. Hang on. How do I respond to this? Can't move here, because the knight... Wait a minute. Yes, I can. I can move here, because the knight cannot take. The knight cannot take because of the pin. Except he will take my queen. So just making sure he can't get me. Yeah, he can't. And look, I also win a pawn and put him in check. And after bishop, and after rook comes down, I could play queen and then bring the knight around and start delivering on a checkmate. Let's check. Defends. Let's also check. Again, he cannot take because of the pin. You might have to take, if he takes with this, if he blocks, I think he has to block. If he blocks, I come back and check him again. And just sort of harass his king a bit. And then I can get my other rook to safety. And then I can start pushing. Blocks. Oh, nope, he can't recapture again because of the pin. I keep getting nervous that I'm going to lose my queen. I keep getting nervous that I'm going to blunder my queen. Okay. Now, how to continue play. Take. Oh, this is going to be a perpetual, so what to do? I can win this position, I just... I take... If I move here, sacrificing the queen. Let's check. Let's go either to here or to here. No. No, no, no. Yeah, let's do this again. And just make him move. If he blocks. Okay. He decides to move there. Does that give me an in? Can I get in there? Cannot take, because if I take, he can just recapture. Tricky, tricky. I can't move here. Okay. I'll move back. And I'll pick up this pawn. Oh my god, wait. Now I'm winning the rook or the bishop. He doesn't have a back rank checkmate. Because I have knight defending, and then this. Can't believe I lost that position. It's such an advantage. God, I'm an idiot. Oh. Oh my god. 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 I could have also played this. Oh my god. It still says I'm up, but god damn it. How did I screw up that position? Thank you for giving me your... Well, I suppose he could take my rook, but I'll take his rook, and then I'll get my queen back. Oh no, wait. He can't take my rook because I had the. He couldn't take my rook there because I had the knight. So now I take. He pushes forward. I'm going to move him to the side. Because now my knight's defending, but my knight's also in the way. I'll pick off his pawn. Maybe put him in check. And then bring the knight over here, and that'll be mate, because this would have been his only escape square. Oh, no, it wouldn't be mate, because he'd have. And he resigned. God. Stupid. Sorry, I slammed the table. Yeah. These should not be hard games to win. And I suppose they are, because I'm a beginner. Let's see, the engine recommends bishop c5, bishop c4, knight f6. Bishop f5, bishop c4, knight f6. Knight f3, d5, castles, castles. Knight f3. Knight to d5. Castles, castles. Bishop takes, c6. Bishop b3. Takes, c6. Bishop b3. Then the engine recommends black play queen c7, then d4, then e takes d4, so 7, d4, takes, this is knight takes, then d6, knight takes d4, d4, d6, because you don't want to capture. You don't want to capture, because of course queen takes. And bishops are worth more than knights. And then it says bishop f4, queen d8, so bishop f4, queen d8, queen d2, queen f6. The engine is telling me. You can tell I'm reading over here. It's recommending I go into a completely different variation. Let's take a look. We had bishop c4. This move. So I play this move, and it's recommending after one of these general sort of opening moves for black, I play bishop or knight. What do I play? I played the knight, which it likes. It wants me to play either bishop b5 or bishop b5. So it says bishop. It says knight a5, bishop g4, bishop e7. So let's say, this is, talking about memory. So it recommends I either castle h3 or, yeah, the preemptive, the prophylactic h3 preventing this, which gave me a bit of grief in the game. Let's continue. I played this move, and I castled, which still gives me an advantage, only a slightly less advantage. Then he plays this move, and I don't take advantage of it. So is it recommend? So it recommends a3. Yeah, it's probably what I should have played. What did I play instead? I played for the pawn break, but he didn't give it to me. Okay, it says I do d takes e5, d takes e. I take d takes e5. e5. Queen takes d8 check. Rook takes d8. Knight takes e5. And then it recommends he castle. And I can play rook f to c1. Rook f to c1, rook f to c1 are there are two lines which it's talking about, which I will move through right here quickly. Feel free to pause and take a look at. I'm going to have to take a look at each of these. It's saying this line, rook f to c1, rook a to c1. It wants me to put the rook on c1. It also says knight takes g4. Knight takes g4. And what after knight recaptures? Bishop f4. Bishop f4, bishop b3. I like the bishop f4 move. Why do I think bishop f4 is the good move? Because it says bishop f4, bishop d6. This move immediately gives edge, because now black can just take. There's no consequence for that. Oh, I suppose that's why it wants me to play this move. No, wait, rook c1 doesn't protect. So, what about bishop b3? Knight takes e3. Okay, and this is a pretty even position. Let's see, castles. Bring the rook, even up the position. See, if I had done rook to c1 here, that also evens the position. So my rook move evened the position. That evens the position. So it's saying I should take. It's saying I should have gone down, perhaps, this line. Let's say we added some defense to the. There's something like this. Something like maybe this. And this one. Threatening to take, threatening this rook. Anyway, see if I was playing it. Then I broke on the opposite side. And he's, it's suggesting queen takes d6, so let's run through this. What would I have played in this position? I probably would have played check. Oh, I could have won a piece. He plays this to defend. I can just drop back. What could I also do? I could also... Can't go here. Can't go here. I can just drop back a bit. Plays another move again. It does that gives me a lot. Well, yeah, because then... Oh, whoops, not that. It gives me... What does it give me? What does this move give me? Is that the move I want? do that move, and then I could, I guess, bring this over to the point where it takes recapture with check, king moves somewhere. I think anywhere really, but I would pick up the knight, then pick up the pawn, probably come back, start taking this pawn. If you move to any one of these dark squares, I could also take this pawn with check. Those are all possibilities. Hand this. So I notice now I just sort of wait too long. This is rook d to e1, or f5, or rook c1. I play this move, which is what it says to do, but it's probably the best move in losing position. Had I thought more about it, I probably would have played this move, which after takes is I cannot recapture. I don't have a solid game plan after that, so I like that I was a little bit more reserved. I'm just waiting for that opportunity. Okay. So why didn't it like this move? Is it because of this? No. Is it because of this? No. Because that's check. Puts me here. And where is mate? Is there a mate threat? Because he's winning. So he can take, so I can threaten. He can take with check. I can move back. And then what? Then whatever, something like check. So this is check. So if I need to respond, so wait, that is check. Do this. Look in black. Black can remove the threat, and it still says that I'm winning there. That's why. So what's the issue with this move? Why does that give the edge to black? How can black? He can do this with check, or what else can he do? How can he put? Especially with this check, but after. What's the? I wonder what the move is. I wonder why that's so terrible. Probably screaming at the screen right now, saying, "Oh, it's so obviously this move." I think check is just really the only threat. That opens up an attack against the queen, so the queen has to move. I don't know. Anyway, rook takes, check, move. And this, just like the winning for white. Push, he recaptures, I take. Pushes. Take that piece. Pushes. I go check. I'm going to check. I'm going to rook f6. I'm recommending rook takes f6. Check. King takes f6. Knight d5 check. With a oh, that's a triple attack. Oh, I could have done this cool rook sacrifice. Oops. It's a attack over here. It's an attack over here. An attack over here. And an attack over here. Say here. Check. And if he, say, retreats here, well, then I can pick this up. So, let's see. If check, could have done let's check again. If he went, say, and I have this check, which again picks this up. Wow, I could have played that so much stronger. Could I play the rook sacrifice immediately? No, because after I suppose I could have, because after it takes immediately. No, I don't have, so I'd have to. I had to play this move with check. And then no matter what he does, he's screwed. Wow, that would have been a much better game had I noticed that triple fork. It was mate in 6. Let's see if I can figure out what the mate was. And it won't let me figure out what the mate was. Here it's mate in 9. Okay, what's the mate? Check. Check. Is it? Nope. Is it? Mate in 8. Is it? Mate in 6. Mate in 5. Mate in 4. Mate in 1. Okay. There's so many better ways I could have played that. I wish I get so tunnel vision-y that I don't notice any like tactics that would have just been killer. Would have been monster moves. Wow, I just saw my one pin. Didn't even consider. Wow. I just want to... I am so disappointed that I didn't... Ah. How did I not get that? I just... Come on, dude. You need to think more logically. You need to think more big game, big picture. Wow. So that's another win. A win by resignation, but a win nonetheless. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the final game. I have this check. I'm not planning on doing much with the check. I think he should, if he just develops That would be better. So then I can just... Okay, he decides to go for the attack. I'll add some pawn tension. If not, if he takes, I can just take back, and then I can bring my knight up. Okay. Well, it's a free pawn. But that also gives him double isolated pawns. I might just... Do I want to attack? Because if I attack... I think this is a free pawn now. If I take, he won't retake because of the bishop. He might then he'd have to retake with a queen, or I could retake with a knight. I don't mind the double pawns so much here, because then after like this, he's also blocking his. He's blocking the development. I only have here to go. So after I take and he won't retake, I can just play here, providing support. Okay, he does take. If he takes with a knight. Okay, now I'm adding more support. I think I'm going to play here. Might want to bring my queen into the game. We'll bring my queen over here. So 1 attacker, 2 attackers. We have 1, 2, 3 defenders. I want to push. What's the purpose of that move? Add this. You could take. If he takes, move the knight here. If he takes, I cannot retake because of queen. I don't have a knight. My knight can't jump all the way to here. My knight can only go to here. So that wasn't the best move. I'm also looking at some ideas here. I can't pick off these things quite so easily. Not yet. I think I'll castle kingside here in a moment. I'm not too concerned about takes because I have many ways to take back. I could play this move, taking the bishop back. But let's see, if I take here, pawn, if I take here, pawn takes, knight takes, no, that doesn't work, not yet. So I'll play this move. I'm also going to come to c7 to build up my strength along this diagonal. Right now my king is a little bit weak, but once I bring this here, okay, what to recapture with? Do I recapture with the pawn, the queen? What do I recapture with? If I recapture with the knight, I have an attack here. If knight comes here, I have takes. Hang on, let's see. I take with the knight. If he advances, I come back. Take with the queen. Adding more support will give me 3. Could also block with the bishop, but I don't want to do that. I think taking with the knight is my safest bet because it gives me access to this square and to this square. And if I can have the knight here and also get a hold of this square, I'd be in good shape. So with the knight here, after this takes, and this takes, and this takes, and this, still not good because I can't. Let's see, queen takes, takes. There's nothing there. So let's take, let's castle, and then let's worry. I want to. Yeah, and now I have a file for the. Now I can open up an attack on this sort of. Ooh, I have an idea. So if I take and he recaptures, oops. I take and he recaptures. What if I played pawn to d4, attacking this knight? He'd come in, he'd recapture. I'd come in and take. And then would I have queen? I don't know. Maybe. This is quite confusing. Takes. Push forward. After takes. Queen comes. Queen comes. I could. I don't quite know. That's not good. I could leave the queen be, because the queen wouldn't be able to take back because they just lose their queen. Then I could focus on getting my light square bishop into the game, maybe with a move like b5 followed by bishop b7. Okay, he doesn't take. What's his threat? His threat, come here. And here and here. And if he comes here, he has the queen. What if I push b4? Let's play a bit aggressive. Just harass this knight, make the knight move away, and then we can proceed with our plan of takes. Now I'm not threatening. Okay, he wanted to come to this square. Why do they want to come to this square? Here is here, he is here. This was here. This is the square that he wants. But it's protected. Does he not see that? I hope he comes here so I can just take his. I guess he does decide to take. And now he won't be able to take with his knight because I'll take his rook and we can trade rooks. Suppose he could also come down with a pawn. Comes down with a pawn. Comes down with the pawn, then I take the knight. That's the idea. If he comes down with the pawn, I take the knight and defend the rook. Knight takes, then I take rook. Now I can get this piece officially into the game. Perhaps to here, or here. One of these squares. This is in the way of the knight, so let's go here. He opens up a discovered attack on the queen. He moves the knight out of the way, say to here. That's probably the best move. Double attack queen. What do I do in case of knight? Is it just here? We also shouldn't play chess late at night. It's currently... I'm gonna get my watch. It's currently 12:30 at night. It's past midnight. Probably not good for my brain. What's a move? Maybe he blunders. I can't keep hoping he blunders, though. That's not how you win chess. So now he's threatening. It's the only move. Right? Because he's threatening this piece. Suppose I could have done something like this. Or ran away to this square. This square to defend. If takes, and I have this. So if rook takes, I have queen takes. This is quite an exhausting night. He must be calculating a lot. This is embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. I wonder what he's thinking about if he's taking this long. He's taking this long to figure out a move. What lines could he be calculating? I have this move. Let's see. Takes. Did he just leave the table? He resigned. What? Why did he resign? That was a blunder on me. Wait. It's past midnight. Oh my god, it's past midnight, so I have a new... Okay, it doesn't want me to do that. It wants me to do this. And this is all standard theory. Let's see, developing move. That. Those are all things. It says that is a blunder. That of course blunders me. So if I'm here, it says it's a blunder. So I should have taken here. So then after takes, what do I have? I have recaptures. So I could have, wow. How did I miss that? Let's go back. E4, inaccuracy. Fine. This is all fine and good. That's an okay move. Yeah, that also works. Develop a piece. So that's fine. That's fine. That's my first. That's another inaccuracy. That's inaccuracy. It's a better move. And then say after something like that, so that's a good move. Play this. Let's say this. And then after this. And maybe castles. That's a good move. After this, I play this. That's a good. With this move, I can play this. And then what? And then we play for that. Can we exchange queens? No, let me. We go around here. And then what? Back, and this, maybe the stopping, well, and captures. So that's the blunder. So is this threatening the knight, and also the pawn, and then what's the move? With AC1, and then do I have this move? It's H6. Preventing any queen trade. And then what do I have? We have this move. That's a good move. If I can see something like that being played. I'm interested in just opening up the position as soon as possible, and I think that's my downfall, is that I'm not patient enough. Now I defend. It says to bring the bishop back is best, but I suppose yeah, because you want to be able to get out. So let's bring it back. Inaccuracies, I think, are fine from an opponent. I genuinely try and play better moves for them. Then maybe something along the lines of this. Or this, rather. That's fine. Attack a piece. Attack a piece. Wow. Wow. I could have played that game so much better. I wonder what was he seeing. So if I take, what's his move? His move would be to take the pawn. Let's look at H6. Actually, that is a hanging pawn, so this is good. Actually, yeah, that's a pawn that's. Still thinks that's a good move. I wonder why. So I have this move. Then I have this. And then, you know, he'd have to go. Yeah. And what? Check. This seems to just be a perpetual check. So if we went back. Then he has this, and that's just. So let's not do that. Let's. I think at this point, I could have gotten a draw. Okay, now it likes the position better for white. That's the draw position. I don't know why. Why is it? Why is it a draw? Yeah, because that's at that point. If he made some mistakes like that, these would be pretty laughable. But it would allow me to get these pawns. But yeah, I just can't keep relying on these types of blunders. I still don't know what he saw. Let's see. Let's go back. How would he have gone about winning the game? So he takes, I take. Says this is the best move. This move. I'm going to